Let's welcome Paige Spiranac to the show.
Hello, Paige. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Pleasure to have you. Now,
Great to see you in person. We feel like we see you every day on our phone.
Yeah.
how many people do you feel as though they recognize you? And I was like, I know her. Where do I know her from? Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, well, people going, you look familiar.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
if I'm on the golf course, it makes sense.
Yes.
But like walking around here anywhere. But I have the best job ever because it's like I can be invisible in real life because social media fame isn't real. So it's like I have that life and then I have my real life.
Yeah, you got to tell us about that. Again, Paige Spiranac, you definitely know her. Again, Give Me Props is the new show on Sports Grid. She's a former pro golfer turned social media superstar. Tell us about that decision, how it happened. Was it hard to say, well, I'm going to give up pro golf and focus on this, but still golf? Like, tell us about the journey.
Yeah, so I was a competitive gymnast before I switched over to golf, and I really wanted to be a pro athlete, and I thought that I would just be really well suited to golf. And so I did junior golf and then played D1 golf and then 2 years professionally. But that first year, it's financially straining, and
Yeah.
I didn't have any support, and it just kind of happened to me where someone wrote an article about me. I went viral overnight, went from having 500 followers to 100,000 followers, and companies were reaching out. And at the time, this is almost 10 years ago now, there was no path to be a social media influencer or
Yeah.
content creator, especially in golf or in sports. And so I was like, oh, I can use this to my advantage to finance my golf career. And that's really how it started. And after really like a year of trying to balance both, which was really hard, and I was also dealing with a lot of criticism of, you know, getting a sponsor invite or just what people said was like special treatment in the golf industry because of my following or my appearance. And it was just too hard to handle. And I was never cut out for pro golf. I had the physical skills to do it, but oh my God, I am such a head case. Like, it was bad. It was really bad.
In what way? What got to you the most? The criticism or?
You know, I think that like coming from a gymnastics background where you need to be perfect and you're striving for perfection, and then you go to golf, which is the exact opposite. There's no such thing as perfect, and really you look like this throughout your career, and the highs never really outweighed the lows for me. There's just something about golf, and I don't know if you've played it, but it just makes you feel so small about yourself.
For that reason.
Yeah.
I have not, because everyone's like, you're gonna love it one day,
Right.
and then the minute you feel like I'm getting pretty good, then you feel like you suck.
It just eats you alive, and especially when you're trying to do it as a living, which most people are like, that's the dream job. And I'm like, well, you know, especially for the women, I was playing on the mini tours. I played around 25 tournaments. I had a win, and I barely broke even for the year. And so you're grinding and you don't have support, and it's just a really hard lifestyle. So there's so much pressure on you, and then me just kind of being a people pleaser and wanting to do a good job. And also it's a really unique sport too, where, you know, my parents always told me, if you work hard, you will be successful. If you do everything that you need to do, you will see results. And golf is like, no, you won't. You can eat right. You can, you know, do everything, have healthy habits, and work hard in the gym and work hard, you know, on your practice. And then, you know, it could be the first tee, and then it's like you've never held a golf club before, and I just couldn't ever wrap my head around that. And so I decided to lean into doing social media work for just a year or two to be able to, you know, then maybe take a break of that and go back to pro golf. And about a year of just doing social media, I was like, I will never ever go back to playing golf competitively
Yeah,
again.
because that just blew up. Blew up for you. Congrats.
And I'm just better suited. So what held me back in playing professional golf actually helped me in my social media career, where I think I was very vulnerable, and, you know, competition was hard for me. And that vulnerability helped me build a really great community. And so I'm just much better suited to be doing this. And I still get to stay in golf, which I'm so passionate about. But I just was never meant to play professional golf.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're here hanging with Paige Spiranac, COVINO Rich. What I love about what you do is you don't shy away from the obvious. You're good at golf.
What are you talking
You're
about?
You're a good-looking woman. And, like, a lot of times there's, like, a hesitancy where people are like, well, I don't know if I want to lean in. And you're like, listen, I was blessed with good looks, and I know how to play sports, and I know sports. Why not marry the two?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started doing this, I, again, had no idea what it would morph into. And I was taking a more traditional route, and it was so funny. I posted a picture, and I was wearing a turtleneck, and someone called me out for my wardrobe. And I was like, this isn't about my wardrobe. You're just putting me in this box. And I got so sick of that, and I was like, you know what? I'm to lean in, and I'm going to do that the best I possibly can.
Why
and
not, right?
So my social media has morphed over the years, and it's really become this like parody of how people view me. And if you follow me, you're kind of in on the bit. And it's like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I have so much fun with it, and I'm very self-aware. And I just feel like there's so much negativity online that I want people to come to my page and have fun and smile and not think that I'm like trying to preach something or do this or do that. It's like
you were the first. Like I feel like because of you, there's so many. Like I have buddies that are like my whole algorithm is like hot girls golfing.
Yeah.
Like you started sort of like a genre.
No, I mean I paved a path for so many,
Yeah.
not even just for the women, but for also my male counterparts to be able to do this. I was the first one to be able to monetize your social media in a way in the golf industry that no one had ever really done before. And sometimes I don't always get credit for that because, again, of like how I've built my brand and it because it is more kind of silly and not as like in your face golf all the time. But I'm really proud of that. And it's so cool that so many women now have an opportunity to make, a career.
Have you met guys that are intimidated that you are better than them at golf? Because there's a lot of guys that would have a hard time, like, gosh, she's better than me. Like, is that, have you encountered many of men that are insecure about your skills?
It's funny because a lot of people, because I am so public and I say, oh, I feel that playing golf professionally, that they think that I'm a bad golfer. And so when I meet a lot of people, they're not nervous that they're playing with me because they think I'm good. They think that I'm going to be bad. And I'll make contact on the first shot and they're like,
oh no.
Oh my gosh. And like that's the fun part. It's like I still can play at a good level and I'm confident in my skills but most people just don't realize that I can break 70.
You could hustle so many people. You can hustle so many people.
I've been doing it online. I mean, that's my whole career at this point.
The big hustle. By the way,
Paige Spiranac on the COVINO and Rich Show, Fox Sports Radio.
Show me your tips. You're not shying away from, like I said, everything's like you said. If you're in on it,
she's leaning
you're
into it.
in on it.
Yeah.
When you talk about give me props, prop bets, looking at Super Bowl 59, are there bets you're already eyeing up with people you're talking about or no? Do you like some of the prop bets?
Oh, I love them. They have the national anthem. The Gatorade pour is always my favorite of what color it's going to be. I mean, always the fun prop bets. But what we decided to do with Gimme Props is people were writing in prop bets that they want to see me attempt. So the first episode that launched on February 2nd, our YouTube channel under Lost Pages, is Dirty Balls. So
see, again, leaning in, having fun.
And it's
by the way, when she said that, she looked at you. I want you to know that. She looked at Rich. She said dirty balls and looked at Rich.
Looked at me.
Just so you know. I want to make that clear.
And so I have to clean golf balls, dirty golf balls, in a certain amount of time. And then the second one was a double stacked burger, and I have to finish it in under 5 bites.
Okay.
So
all
they're
right.
just fun, silly.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun.
But
supposed to be fun.
Paige, do you ever think about how you really just
that
having
this is my
fun
life?
for a
Yeah.
living?
I know.
Like,
I think about my digital footprint, and I like shiver sometimes.
No, but there are times we think like we're faking life. Like we talk about radio and sports and nonsense for a living.
Best job ever.
You are like people are betting on cheeseburger bites.
100%. And it's so funny because, I hear people in my industry and they're like, oh, my job is so, difficult. And I'm like, we have the best job ever. Like, if you talk to someone in the real world with like an actually challenging job, it humbles you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do every single day. And I never take that for granted. I'm so appreciative of my community that allows me to eat cheeseburgers. Like, that is the best job
Paige,
ever.
When you walk around like a media row like this or a big event like the Super Bowl, this is your demo. So do you feel that everyone's looking where you're going? Like
she's used to that, though.
But I saw you walk this way, and every radio booth is like, hey, is that Paige? Like,
oh, really?
yeah. Do you get that vibe?
No, I think I'm just so desensitized
You're numb to
it.
It happened on the golf course. It probably happens all the time.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people think, oh, you must be like really confident. And I like at my core, I'm like deeply insecure. And so sometimes when people look at me, I'm like, is there makeup on my teeth or like is there something wrong? And so when people are like looking, I'm like, oh my God, wait, like there's something wrong with me, and I don't think about it in like ever a positive way in my life.
They're
at all.
trying to read your shirt. That's what it says.
Yeah.
I just hope both teams have
fun.
Have fun. Again, Paige Spiranac
Yeah, it was
here.
this. I mean, it was only this
Really
big,
tiny
right?
print, right? So she put it on. I got to ask you this. You're talking about how great the career is, right?
Yeah.
But there has to be a weird side, or tell us how you balance out the fact that everybody wants to know everything about you because everything's so public, right? And they want to see what you're doing at home and they want to see all your videos and everything. How do you balance any privacy when you're so public all the time?
When I first started doing this, I was an open book, and I would say everything that just, popped into my head. And I realized, that's probably not the best thing that you could be doing. And so I still want to keep my authenticity and be genuine because that's how you connect with your audience. But there's just certain things that I decided that I'll never talk about, which is like friends, family, any relationships. It's just not worth it. And so when you go on to any of my social media platforms, it's me and me only. Because I signed up for this, but a lot of people in my life, especially like my best friends, they don't even have social media.
Right.
And so I don't want to subject them to, there's so much good, but there is also some bad, and I've come to terms with that. But that's not a life for everyone. And so, yeah, there is a balance, but like keeping that part of my life separate. And I think it's also helped with the hate too, because it's a persona that I play. It's a character, and it's not really me or my real life. And I think that separation.
But it's a side of you, though, right?
No,
like a
for
playful
sure.
side.
It's my most confident, sexiest, most playful side of me. The person I want to be is who I show online. It's who I strive to be, that confident.
It's like Larry David said, he wants to be who he is on Curb, but in real life he just can't.
And that
be
platform,
that.
the platform allows you
to
and
do
expects
that.
you to do that
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, it needs to be entertaining, right?
Yeah.
And so, if I'm just sitting home in sweats and doing nothing and reading, people are not going to find that interesting.
How do you handle hate? I mean, it's easy to say, just ignore it all. But there'll be times we'll do a show or an event, we're like, hey, that was good. And for every nice person, there's an a-hole that's saying some stuff. Do you just totally block it all out, or are there times where you're like, yeah, people are pretty mean? Social media is not a nice place.
Again, I'm so desensitized to it now.
Yeah,
but I will say that I've noticed that the things that people say that bother me the most are insecurities that I have with myself. And so you do have to, it's going to be cheesy, but you have to take that journey of self-love and figuring out why those comments bother you. So for me, I feel like I failed at pro golf. And so when people criticize my golf game early on in my career, that really ate at me because I was insecure about that. And now, again, it's a persona. It's this kind of character that I play up, and being able to separate what I do from who I am. And it's hard because as a content creator, you are the brand. And so when someone is criticizing you, they're criticizing the brand or this version that they think they know of you. But I can't sit down and have an hour-long conversation with every single person I meet. And I feel if I did, I would change or sway there. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just, very unlikable and everything that people say. But once you get to know someone, then you can make a full, judgment on who they actually are. And you just won't get that opportunity with so many people.
Paige Spiranac, I'm sure you get a lot of hate, but you get a lot of love too. You have 11 million followers across platforms. You're a celebrity. You said social media celebrity. However you want to put it.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Do you put that number in
It's
perspective?
true, though. That's a lot of people.
11 million people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Cover of Sports Illustrated, Illustrated model, all that stuff. I wanted to ask you, obviously a lot of men are reaching out to you all the time. Let's talk about celebrity guys and athletes. Do they hit you up constantly? Are you always seeing it? You don't have to give us names, but it has to be a constant thing.
Yeah.
Is that fair to assume?
Yeah. A lot of baseball players and hockey players because they love golf. And so that's always a pretty easy transition. And then some random people sometimes that I'm like, that was really cool that they know who I am.
Right. Okay.
Because I just don't, I throughout all of this, I can't believe I'm doing this, and so it's so weird to me.
So you notice that, though, right? It's not like you just see that dude and you're like, yeah, whatever. You notice it and you're like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I never respond, though.
Ever?
No, because you don't meet your heroes. That's what I've found out in this industry.
Yeah.
That most of the time I'm often disappointed, and so I just want to, if I really respect them or like them, I kind of want to keep it as I envision them in my head.
You don't want to know that they're really a creepo.
No.
But maybe they're not. I mean, you got to respect sometimes people shooting their shot.
Yeah.
They're a fan, and they're like, hey.
And I'll never, I don't like when girls drop names or make it into a big thing because that's it's disrespectful. It takes a lot of
Oh, I know what you mean. Someone would screenshot it and throw it out there publicly.
I think that's so cringy.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's weak.
No, because it takes a lot of courage to slide into someone's DMs and then for them to be blasted online. I don't like that.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think that's a weak look.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. By the way, when you're around here, are you a big football fan? Or are you more like what besides golf? What are your sports that you actually enjoy?
Yeah. So my aunt played professional tennis. My dad played football at Pitt when they won the national championship. Wow. My mom was a professional ballet dancer. My sister ran track at Stanford. And so we have most of the sports covered. Big sports family. Both my parents are from Pittsburgh, so I bleed black and gold.
Oh.
I know. And so always been a big Pittsburgh fan. But I just love sports. It's the best.
Because you have 11 million followers and people know who Paige Spiranac is. Do you have the ability to be like, hey, I want to go meet Russell Wilson? I want to, do you know Coach Tomlin? Like, have you infiltrated that world at all or no?
No, I just have such imposter syndrome that I don't even ask or try to do or facilitate those things. Like, I probably could have taken advantage of opportunities, and I just have never done it. But I love Mike Tomlin. I just think he's so cool. I think maybe his time at the Steelers is done, but I've always loved him as a coach.
When he finds out, he'll be sliding into your DMs next.
No way.
Hey, Paige,
no way. No, hateful, you said.
Hey, wait, before all this happened for you in the golf, what was your last regular job?
Okay, so this is going to be crazy. My parents always said that if you gave your all to sports, that you'd never had to work a job. And so I was able to commit to sports, get a full ride scholarship, and so I never had to work. And then right out of this,
Ever.
No, I worked in my sister's frozen yogurt shop for a week, and then I couldn't figure out the cash register, so I just started giving people free yogurt, and I got fired by my sister. But no, I've never worked a real job, which I'm lucky that I fell into what I do today. But there are so many college athletes who are not able to get internships or not able to get jobs, and they're thrown into the workforce with really no skills other than what they learned through athletics, and it's actually a pretty big problem.
Wow.
I do tell my kids, I tell my daughter, I'm like, if you get a scholarship, all this money Dad's saving, you could use it for whatever you want. So scholarships are a big deal. That
100%.
That takes a lot.
Yeah, they're
I love
really
that
good
story because you said you didn't really have to work, but what you've done is you've built an empire here. I'm not downplaying that, but she did get fired by her sister. So
I did.
we can't go past that.
Yeah,
no, I know. I don't even have a college degree because this happened in my senior year, and so I wasn't able to graduate, and so I really had to fully lean into this, or else who would have known where I would have ended up?
Exactly.
Let me ask you one more thing. Paige Spiranac here with COVINO Rich, Fox Sports Radio. Let's say you're on a date, hanging with friends.
Yeah.
You're going mini golf, top golf, any of these things. Are you able to check out and be casual, or are you looking at people's grips, people's swings? Are you able to step aside from golf?
Funny enough, I am terrible at mini golf. Terrible. I am so bad at it. I don't know why. It's it's the same thing. I can't figure it out.
Add a windmill or a clown's mouth and you're off?
I just lose it. My mind goes in wild places, and I just can't figure it out. And they're like, well, bank it off here. And I'm like, that's not real golf. I can't do that. No, I try to have as much fun as possible. But if someone's asking for, swing tips, I will always help them.
And my last question, again, Paige Spiranac, you said you like to have fun. Aside from golf, what's your perfect night? What do you like to do? Do you like to binge out on shows? You like to be lazy? You what's your thing?
I mean,
do you cook at home?
Yeah, it's so funny because the persona that has kind of been created online is people think it's fun party girl, doing all these cool events with A-listers and athletes, and my go-to night is home with my dog, eating ice cream, binge watching a show or reading a book, and that is what I love to do.
That's your happy time.
That's my
when
happy
you're
place.
relaxing?
Yeah,
what's your show right now?
I am one episode away from finishing Yellowstone.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're not on it.
We're
not on it yet.
I've been pushing Shrinking on him.
Yeah, I know. He's trying to get me to watch that.
Apple TV. Watch
Okay,
it.
I'll
Apple
check it
TV.
out because I'm going to need a new show after Yellowstone is done.
Tell us about your stuff. Give me props. Sports Grid. We got this here. This
little nice.
Yeah, so we always want to
chip.
bring Gimme Props with us everywhere. Last night at opening night, we had a couple fun props. One was how long it would take for Travis Kelce to get asked a question about Taylor Swift. Over-under was 5 minutes. I took the under, and I won. Another one was how long it would take to get to the front for Saquon Barkley. Over-under 45 minutes. We did not succeed on that one. But with the Lost Pages poker chip, today's challenge is you have to put it on your forearm and then try to catch it.
Oh.
And if you do, you get the belt.
Well.
No,
No, I got to do this over here. I got to stand up for this bad boy. Hold on. Here's the chip. Oh, come on. I got it first try. First try.
Well, there you go. You get the
champion.
Give Me Props belt.
Yeah, buddy. I'll take it. Give Me Props belt. Paige Spiranac. Thank you, guys. I mean,
thank you so much.
Follow her. I mean, follow us. She's got enough followers. Yeah. You've got plenty. Can you save some for for us?
We can collab.
Where can people hit you up? Obviously at Paige Spiranac.
On my platforms that are my name, Paige Spiranac. On Instagram, it's Paige Renee, and then for the Lost Pages Give Me Props show, you can find it on YouTube under Lost Pages.
Perfect. A pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Success. Thanks for being on the show.
You
You're
so
welcome
much.
by any time. We appreciate it.